Hello, welcome to Farmspace. Right, I've got Simeon Hurwitz here and Stompie Olivier. And these two are very happy, or they seem very happy, and they should be, after a very, very good collaboration auction here at the Bull Ring. I'm really going to talk to them about how they feel it went down, what their thoughts were or are at the moment. And from our side, I think it just shows in stud breeding, quality is what you need to put up. But let's hear from the breeders and find out what they want from you. Stompie, Simeon, Stompie, I'm going to start with you. What an exceptional day for the two studs coming together and just showing what you can do.
Yeah, Dennis, it was really a special day, I think, for the both of us, for Hotspot and Hurwitz. We just really want to thank everyone for coming out, and everybody who was bidding online. It's really humbling to see the support that we got throughout the country, from breeders, from newcomers, from guys from Zimbabwe. It was really humbling to see the support for the both of us.
Stompie, going to stay with you for one more second. You put up some really good cows here. Cows that I know must have hurt you in certain ways. It must be, you must sort of go when you see them go in that ring, go, please just let them go for something that is worth for you to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, Dennis, I think as a stud breeder, if you don't hurt yourself when selling animals, I don't think you're really doing it right, because we need to put the best stuff out there for people to want to come back to you. So, yeah, it did hurt. I'm sure it hurt Simeon as well, to put some really quality animals on the auction. But I mean, that's what stud breeding is all about. The competition is so stiff throughout the whole breed that you need to put really the best animals out there for people to want to come back to you. So I think that's exactly what Hotspot and Hurwitz did today.
Simeon, let me switch over to you. An absolute great day for the Bull Ring, for Hotspot, for Hurwitz, and just showing what two studs can do. They go into that top 5-10% of their herds and just take that out and just actually sharing genetics. Something different in the Boron, where the Boron breed is willing to share genetics. It's sometimes in some breeds where people sort of tend to want to keep the best. You guys go out and you share, and that's sort of bringing the prices up, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely it is, Dennis. I mean, but you're 100% right. The Boron breeders have got a willingness to share genetics with each other, share genetics with the industry, and share, with the continent, actually. And we see it more and more. I think the highest priced animals that were sold today were sold to foreigners. I mean, we had Colin from Zimbabwe, Liz Riley from Swaziland, also supported very well. But it's not only the local market, it's not only the export market. The eyes are on this breed, regardless. So to have a bring and bra type of sale is not something that we can do as a breed, anymore. It's just there's 30 sales or something like that, I think, booked on the calendar. Some will come and some will go, but that's a lot. It's almost, in some months, almost every weekend. Now, to find buyers for something every single weekend for a sale is not easy, which therefore means that the sellers have to bring something that they don't want to sell and don't want to part with. And that allows you to pick and choose, and also the sellers get a good price, hopefully, for the animals. But as we said last night, it's not always about the price, it's about the value. And I was thinking about what we said yesterday, if I can just elaborate a little bit about that. Maybe there's somebody that watched it, the Chattabiki Bull, and that. We spoke about bargains. Now, there is no value on bargains, and there's no value on genetics. If I look at the bull that we sold a few years ago, Jumbo, for example, what he has done for our herd and what he's doing for our Turu's herd in Zambia, he paid a lot of money for that bull at the time, but now in hindsight, that was the biggest bargain of his life. And let's look at Netstar as another example. I mean, here's a bull that really, again, today showed his worth with two calves on the auction. They both were standout calves. I think they did really well. And that's a bull that, with respect, didn't really sell for as much as we thought he would sell for, but yet he sold. But yes, the idea to share genetics with the industry and make a success of the breed, because, everybody shares in the success and everybody, unfortunately, will share in the failure. So the idea is collectively to collaborate like we've done today and actually do something for the greater good.
The both of you have sold bulls or cows and bulls today that come from well-known genetics and well-known bulls from the past that you used in your own herds, and people trust that brand because you've actually shown what it can do. I think that is something that is sort of the signature of both brands. What I see is saying, this is what my future looks like, and it comes from bulls that we've bred. I think Stompie's done it, Zinzan played a huge role in your herd, Boston, on this side, Netstar, as you mentioned, Picasso behind me, there's a whole lot of them to mention, and it's just, it's that sort of quality that comes through, and you see them on a catalogue after catalogue, and that is what you want as a breeder, and that's a reassurance the buyer wants, and the price is showing at the moment.
Yes, and I think the catchphrase here is predictable. It's predictability. You know, to come and buy and to do some shopping or to do some scouting, I think not everybody can, but you know, at our herd and at Stompie's herd, there's an investment in that herd that's been made over years, generation, time, it's effort. And when you see the results, and that's what people want, and you know, it's so much easier to buy an animal, even though they go for a lot of money sometimes, but so much easier than to having to go through those growing pains, making those mistakes and doing it all again, versus just going to a factory or a business that knows what they're doing, that have proven themselves to be producing of quality, so, you know, an elevated standard, and go and share in the success and share in the genetics. That's what they've done. You see, the cattle industry is a commodity-based industry, but when you get to the stud side of it, it's a little bit different. You know, the stud side of it, you're actually buying assets. You're buying assets with an annuity income that have the ability to replicate and multiply via embryo work, which, you know, at the top of the tree, you have to be doing that because that's the real way to extract value out of that commodity, out of that animal. And that's the real way to look at it. So, you know, Stompie invests in that ideology, so do we. The market knows it, and I think that's why the market's prepared to share in both of our herds.
Stompie, last question for you, or more of a statement almost, but you said it earlier on the podium, you said the amount of work that went into this event, you could just see Hurwitz people running around, Hotspot people running around, the venue, the setup, the videos. So much goes into an auction like this to make it possible, and it just sets a platform, and at the end of the day, I can see sort of from a thank you point of view, to say to people, thank you for being here, thank you for being part of us, and that's sort of what it's all about.
Yeah, to have an auction like we had tonight, to see the gratitude from outside. I mean, all the work that goes in behind the scenes, you'll never know what, we as Hotspot will probably never know what went into this auction, with all the stuff, like Simeon told me earlier, he wanted the lawn to be perfect, and that's all, everything behind the scenes. So there's so much that went into this auction, and we are so thankful for seeing the gratitude from outside, and for the people being grateful for the animals that we put on the auction, and for the good prices that we got. So we are really thankful from our side, and I'm 100% sure from Simeon's side as well. We're really grateful and thankful for everyone who supported the sale.
Now for a little difficult question, I'm going to throw to Simeon. Yes. Are we going to see this auction again?
We were just discussing it now. Why not? Why not? If it works, it works. It clearly worked. So yes, it's a tough time, you know, through that January, February period, over the December period, to produce and to get the animals into condition. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Stompie touched on it. You know, the labs are closed. The vets aren't really working that hard at that time. But we will try our best. We just got to make sure that our head auctioneer is available to accommodate us. We will soon see. But yes, if it worked, it worked. I think it really did. How are we going to replicate this next year, and the whole day and the atmosphere and the vibe? I'm not sure, but we'll think of something.
We will.
That's it.
Great auction. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us. And yeah, we can't wait for next. Oh well, you're probably going to see a Hotspot auction and 2 small Hurwitz auctions this year. So a lot of preparation for you guys as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Dennis. All the best.
Thanks, Dennis.